talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
The way I had to scour the whole internet just to find anything about this guy, I swear the Chinese Undertale fan will find the most dead and niche stanzas and make the most fire shit out of them for no reason.
You're right.
Like, no kids, roll the windows up.
What's going on?
Roll the windows up, hurry! It fucking crashed. He's broke, he's homeless, he's gonna try to ask for money.
Didn't he just put a remake out?
Did.
Remakes and remasters never hit as hard as the original, Luigi. You know that.
Man, we should give him.
They never hit as hard.
Who really cared about Ain't of Luna again until the ending time octet came along? Tell me, who really cares? Some of y'all niggas didn't even know he existed until the trios. At least Ain't of Luna again had their little motion. Who cared about Betrayer Sans, bro? Barely anybody knew about Betrayer until Chaotic Time Trio, and I will stand on that. Anyways, Karma's a Bitch Sans is a stanza where Sans realizes he's in the game. It doesn't really mean anything, but yeah. Phase 1 is the same normal Sans fight, and Phase 2 he uses Karma to heal himself, which the author memeforce hates, but to me I think it's pretty creative, especially since it opens the door to a lot more things you can do with it. So for Phase 2, this guy gets absolutely nothing. It's literally just Sans but stronger like Betrayer Sans Phase 3. But at least Betrayer Sans can use orange and blue attacks and gets new Gaster Blasters. Karma's a Bitch Sans is literally just Sans but stronger. It'd be cool if Karma's a Bitch Sans had his fan-in abilities, which I'm gonna cover in another segment, but I still love the Phase 2 design. If I made this, it wouldn't stop here. We don't even need a Phase 3, to be honest. It was just unnecessary. Like, maybe just make it some non-canon bonus phase. So what is Phase 3? Well, Phase 3 is where he takes out a determination syringe he found in a lab somehow and takes Frisk HP, level, and determination, with him injecting that power into his own soul. How did he find the true lab and syringe? How would he even know about the true lab? How would he even know that the syringe would even benefit him in any way? And then he ends up beating you and getting control of the entire timeline for no reason and severs your soul from the game. This is the actual lore, by the way. Holy. Oh yeah, he also gets the ability to manipulate code somehow. See what I mean when I say Phase 3 is just unneeded? I mean, it's not the bullshit Godverse mofos were putting into their shitties OCs back in like 2020 to 2022, but we really didn't need this. It would be cool if Karma's a Bitch Sans Phase 3 was just an extension of Phase 2 where he really puts the game mechanics against you and you have to find a way to beat him. Nah, let's just give him an ass pull phase and let him win. In conclusion, Karma's a Bitch Sans has great concepts, but he just gets held back by his Phase 3. I rate Karma's a Bitch Sans a 3 out of 10. But if the Phase 3 got removed, it'd be a 4 out of 10. And if the Phase 2 was more creative, then it'd be a 7 out of 10. Just like how I rated Betrayer Sans. Actually, an 8 out of 10. He'd be better than Betrayer. Sans isn't like Undyne where he uses determination to survive. Sans is a guy who cheats the system and fights unfairly to win. That's also one of the reasons why I think Karma's a Bitch Sans can be done really well. For power scaling, not gonna lie, I still barely remember where I scaled Undertale. I'm gonna remake that video because I still have a lot of stuff to say. I don't use Undertale feats to scale Undertale OCs because it just gets outlandish quickly, but it's fun that way, so. Frisk even has 0 defense is able to survive explosions, and Undyne was shown to cut apart of a bridge with her spears, and Frisk can survive attacks from her. So Frisk even with 0 defense is wall level, and Sans has 1 attack, so that just makes him wall level too. And Karma's Bitch Sans scales to this since they're literally the same person. He can use telekinesis, teleport himself and others, put weight on your soul with his blue attacks, he can use blue bones, and he has Karma, which can give him extra damage depending on how evil the guy he's fighting is. Yo, why do I sound like I do not want to make this video? Yo, do y'all want more power scaling content or no? Because like I'm low-key, I don't know. For Phase 2, he scales the same, but his karma is stronger. And for Phase 3, he took half of Frisk's level, HP, and determination. First during the Sans fight was level 19, so half of that is 9.5. First when they were level 9 had 16 attack, 52 HP, and 2 defense, so adding Sans's attack, HP, and defense to this, he's honestly way stronger than his Phase 1 self. Definitely small building level. For hacks, he can manipulate code, and since Sans was able to beat Frisk and take the player out of the game, he should be able to use save and load. Also, since he was able to get half of Frisk's level and HP, you can say that he can take half of whoever he's fighting stats and use it on himself. So yeah, that's where Karma's Bitch Sans scales. Don't ask me about speed scaling. This is a filler video. I'm not gonna put that much effort into this. So after Karma's Bitch Sans gets an unfinished fan game and basically gets bitched by his own creator, he gets adopted by the Chinese Undertale fandom. Let's go, guys. Clap it up for my boy. Clap it up. But jokes aside, the Chinese Undertale fandom expanded a lot more on Karma's Bitch Sans than the original creator did. From standard stuff like the act button and giving him a purple eye, to him using chains and fire magic. Now that I think about it, it's not really much, but at least he's got something. Oh yeah, there's also a fan-made take on Karma's bitch hands where it's basically like Karma's a bitch hands doubled onto himself. And when I say doubled onto himself, think of stuff like fell, dust, outer. Actually, that's kind of funny. Instead of 0 wins to 100 losses, it's 0 wins to 200 losses. It's called Undertale Hypocritical Destinies, made by CR Kuzuno. Holy, got that first try. The same guy who created the Karmatic Time Trio and Undertale Reshaped Heart Sand. There's a remake and old version of this, but since the old version is used more, I'm gonna talk about the old version first. So in this timeline, Karma's bitch Sans loses, probably because this guy barely has any lore other than 3 phases, and a lot of people do not know he won that fight. But anyway, Sans realizes that he's been repeating the same mistakes countless times, so he decides to practice the use of Karma. His design comes from Sans rolling up his sleeves and tying them up with his cloak he found at home to secure Karma for easier use. Always thought it was Papyrus' scarf. And due to long-term practice using Karma, he has a crack in his skull. He also has this thing called Miracle where he can cut half the human's health. I don't know how, but alright. And he has the Karma button on the side, which doesn't really do anything. It's only gonna be used for phase 2. When getting into phase 2, Sans lets you hit him and says that you have bad karma because all the monsters you killed, and he has good karma on the side to beat you. Basically the same thing Karma's bitch Sans figured out halfway through. So he uses karma on himself, and the immense power of the good karma lifts Sans into the air, and he crushes the karma button to fully absorb the power of good karma. Holy, it's getting egregious fast. And this guy is used for every trio if people want to do something like Karmatic Time Trio or Chaotic Time Trio. Or like, if they want to stack the ending time octet onto itself. With the absorption and overuse of good karma, his right brain cracks and his left brain begins to split. Sans' body distorts and he adjusts his attack and defense to 99. Which makes no sense, but alright. And he restores his health. Throughout phase 2, he uses stuff like abstract attacks and battle interface styles from the Tohu project, I guess. And then he gets hit again. In phase 3, he adjusts his health again and takes out a determination syringe to eject into his arm, giving him 2 to 3 times the determination power. Every attack made on him is nullified, and there's also stuff like him extracting files from your computer and summoning Tohu characters for some reason. He fortunately never does this into trios. I don't know why certain trios force Tohu characters in their stories. It makes no sense. Especially with the Fantasy Time trio. I never really watched it, but like, it'd be cool if it was Last Breath Sans, Reimu, and some other guy from another IP, but it's like Last Breath Sans, Tears in the Rain Sans, and then a whole Tohu crossover. And then Kara has titties for some reason. Not trying to accuse the creator of anything weird, but like, I don't know. Sprite is so mid. I'm getting sidetracked. Sans forges a double-edged sword for melee attacks, and if the sword breaks, he'll use one blade for attacking and another for defense. His stats turn unknown, and he can delve into binary code and cause Undertale to crash, experience screen inversions, and lag. This guy's supposed to team up with double ref Sans, extreme mode Sans, and like multiple other Sanses, by the way. There's 2 endings to this, one where Sans beats you and leads the remaining monsters out the underground, and then another one where Sans teams up with Gaster and the Amalgamates to pull you into an endless void, which again makes no sense, but yeah, and he leads the remaining monsters out the underground again. He still wins in 2 endings. Like, I rate the old version of Hypocritical Destinies Sans, or like Karma's bitch Sans times 2, a 2 out of 10. This guy's more egregious than whatever Karma's bitch Sans can hope to be, bro. The newer version is miles better though. Through all of Karma's bitch Sans' battles with human, the timeline shifts. Sans remembers this and he decides to try something different. It's a pretty basic concept, but it works. He changes his outfit and uses more karma on himself, but to make sure it doesn't backfire, he creates a pocket watch limiter type of thing to ensure he won't collapse. But he couldn't fully restrain the karma, so it just leads to this. For phase 1, he just uses karma to put debuffs and distractions onto you instead of whatever the miracle ability was. Phase 1.5, he gets injured, but uses karma to heal himself and shatters the pocket watch, limiting him and flies like in phase 2. I still think it's stupid. I really like the phase 2 design though. I think it's cool. In phase 2, Sans infuses his bones with karma and coats his hands in flames to use ranged and melee attacks. He can use causality-based magic and alter events with a 0% possibility into actual possibilities. And even do stuff like summon people from other timelines, which comes completely out of nowhere, but it's stated he only does this in the trios, so I'll let slide. But at the cost of this power, Sans' vision deteriorates, which gives First the upper hand to hit him again. For phase 2, the causality manipulation does come out of nowhere, but I like the fact that his vision gets worse in turn for more power. Never really see any Chinese Sans have weaknesses, it's just Sans gets hit and then gets a million times stronger. In phase 3, Sans is overwhelmed by karma, but to prevent himself from dying, he injects triple the normal dose of determination into himself. And to avoid melting, he stabilizes himself with karma. Where did he get the 3 syringes? We will never know. So yeah, throughout phase 3, Sans is in agony, and his attacks shift to counter-based strategies. Further into phase 3, he creates a causality enhanced spear emitting lightning like karma, and in this state he's able to rewrite past outcomes for some reason, and uses his spear to die together with a human. Awesome. You're getting a 4 out of 10. Maybe a 5 out of 10 for the hype and aura, but that's all I'm gonna give this guy. Fun fact, this whole video was only possible because I saw a screenshot in a Viper and Hero video that showed Karma's a bitch Sans' lore. Literally the only reason why this video was possible. I included Hypocritical Destinies Sans because he's decently popular in the trio community, so why not make the first video focusing on him as well? Now that this guy's done, I'm gonna make a video on hard mode Sans next, so see y'all in probably another week or 2.